Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Hal. This is Quail Studios Guitar. Today we're going to talk about A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum. And let me turn my guitar. That is the first melody that we hear in Whiter Shade of Pale. It's on the organ. We're playing it on the guitar. So we're going to talk about how that works. And I actually did a tab on that. I do not have that in the description yet. I will also give you a link to it. Can't see my guitar very well today, can you? Maybe I should put my seat up a little bit. Oh, give me a second. There we go. Aha. So this is how the melody goes. Now, to let you know, to be able to help me out, and comments are really, really good. I love comments. I don't care what kind of comments they are. They can be about the weather. They can be about what we're doing. They can be questions. And if you have questions, I will be looking at the comments every once in a while. They're right there on my screen. I will be looking at them and answering any questions that you may have. Also, when it stops being live, it's really good if you can make comments there. It really does help the not only the video, but the channel. So I would invite you to go and look at the video. And if you're here and it's not the live stream anymore, please make a comment. So we start here on the 9th fret of the G string. Let's see if I can find, tell you what, I'm going to find my tab right here and put it on the screen. There it is. And this is going to be in my program, but I'm going to put it on the screen right there. A Whiter Shade of Pale. And there is the tab for you. Let's get rid of that. Now you'll see right here, maybe I should do this a little bit differently. That 0 right there is not being played, and that 5 right there is not being played. So let's do something different here. Let's export this to a PDF file, and I'm going to save that, and we're going to get out. And let's see, what else do we have here. That's the bass tab right there. Oops. And we're going to be talking about the bass line also in just a moment. Let's go back to here. I'm going to find that file that I just saved as a PDF and put it on the screen so that you can see it. That's a Whiter Shade of Pale. There it is. I have to open it up. There we go. And I'm going to make it larger. Okay, now let's go back to here and I'll show you what it looks like. There you go. So this is, yeah, let me put myself on the screen here. And let's move this. Let's see, I think I'll just move myself up a little bit. So we start here on the 9th fret, and this is on the G string. You'll notice what I'm doing there. Let me put it back to me. See that? And that's what it looks like. I'm going to put this back on the screen so you can do a screenshot of it if you want to. And I'm going to take myself out, and I'm going to make it even bigger. Yeah, let's see if that's going to work. There we go. Now you can do a screenshot of that, and that's the tab. I'm giving it a few seconds so that anybody can say, oh yeah, let me get that. You can go back and find it. Okay, that's the lead part for the beginning of it. Now let's go back to, let me find the bass part here. And I'm going to make that bigger. And what we're going to be doing, you'll see my arrow on the screen, my mouse on the screen. We're going to be playing from here all the way down to, see that double line right there where it says verse 1? That's how far we're going to go today. That's the bass part. I'm going to play the bass part for you in just a minute. So let me get my bass out. Now, live streams, one of the reasons I wanted to do a live stream is because, have you heard about all the AI garbage that's going on lately? I am not AI. Let's see if I can, I better get rid of myself right there for just a second. Turn off my camera so you can see that it starts on 5, G string. And that's what it sounds like. Now we're going to go back here. Now see, you could have done a screenshot of that. Let's see. Let's do a better screenshot. There. There's a screenshot. We'll give it about 7 seconds or something like that. And then I'm going to play it for you right here. There you go. Now, if we put those together, the melody and the bass line, I have done a recording of the melody. Let's see if we can get this together and see if I can do it at the same time. One other thing that we're going to do before I do this, I'm going to talk a little bit about some very, very simple, what I would call music theory, but really it's just about notes and how they work together and how I memorize chords. And we'll talk about that in just a minute. You ready? Here we go. if you've listened to A Wider Shade of Pale, you'll notice that there is actually something that I left out in that melody from the organ. And I'm going to put my guitar down one more time, my bass guitar, and pull up my electric guitar, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. What happens is that in that melody, works better when I turn up the volume. All this is the same. Right here at the end. On that note right there, there's another organ melody that comes in and goes like this. Like that. No, I'm sorry, it goes. And then it goes like that. And I've left that part out because it goes. Now that one is the one I just did. I left out that part right there, whatever it is. Which is that other organ part that comes in on top of it. I can't figure out how to do both at the same time, to hold this one and to go, to do that at the same time. So I've just opted to keep that really nice melody with that held note, like that. Now, one of the things that I do when I'm working on music, da, 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 something like that. So the chords that we play over the top of it, and we'll talk about that later in a different video. Now, I talked in another video that I released a few days ago about how I had figured out the bass line. Let's see, A Wider Shade of Pale, when Willie Nelson did it. And then I went back and listened to the original Procol Harum recording and did some research on the actual bass line and all of that kind of thing. And you know what? I really do like that bass line. I really do. Let's see. Gosh, it looks like the video is really behind me. Let's see what everybody says. We've got Renee van der Torre. Hello, Renee. Welcome. I'm looking at this, and it looks like the video is behind where I'm actually talking. Okay. So we're going to talk really quick here about notes, and I'm going to put this on the screen. Let me bring myself back in here, and let me move this over a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to take myself off the screen again. So here are the notes in the scale, in the musical scale. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. One thing that would be really good for you to really understand would be to understand exactly what relates to A. And what I mean by that is I want you to understand the perfect fifth above A. A. Now if you go A, B, C, D, E, see that? Let's do that again. And let's do this. Let's move this over. My heater came on. I better turn it off. So A, B, C, D, E, right? So A to E is what we call a perfect fifth, and I'm going to put an E on here, like that. Now B, a perfect fifth above B is actually F sharp. Oops, and I didn't mean to do that. B, C, D, E, F, but it's not just F, it's F sharp. I won't go into why that is right now. C goes up to G, C, D, E, F, G. D, what's D? Goes up to A. E goes up to B. F. Now F is a little different because it goes to B flat. Oops, I did the wrong thing. Nope, that's not right. Sorry. F goes to C. What was I thinking? And G goes to D. Now one thing that happens here is, here's your A. If I take my tuner, one thing you can do is get your tuner out. If you have a tuner, you can also get one on your phone. Let's just start with the low E string. And that's the E note. You'll notice that from open E, you go to the next string and you go up 2 frets, and that's a B, E to B. And when we go back to this, you'll notice that the E goes to B. That's a perfect fifth. And if you play it together, if you put distortion on it, right, that's what we call a power chord, right? Let's do that again. Right? Or if I put the E here and the B, power chord, E to B. Let's go to the F note right there, which is the first fret on the E string. You go up 2 frets over 1 string, that's a C. F to C. Go up to G, 3rd fret, up 2 frets over 1 string, G to D. Go up to the A, 5th fret, up 2 frets over 1 string. That's an E note, A to E. Go up to B, B, up 2 frets over 1 string, that's an F sharp. Up 1 fret to the 8th fret, C to G, that's a perfect fifth. D, up to the A note. I'm going to put on some distortion just for a second here, because listen to it. Right? Those are all perfect fifths, right? And hard rockers love perfect fifths. Now, this is really important. I want you to concentrate on these, because when you have these in your mind, for instance, and you're listening or you're thinking about a chord progression. I did a chord progression yesterday with one of my students. I did this. I did E minor to C, G, okay, let's put me bigger on the screen just for a second so you can see what I'm doing. E minor, C, G. I'm going to do a recording of that. I'm going to put it in my diddle looper. Here we go. Ready, and... We'll turn that off for a second. Now let's think about this. Let's go back to my paper here and move it down. I'm going to move this out of the way, and we're going to do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I did here was I did an E minor chord. Oops, forgot I have my caps lock on. E minor chord, going to a C, oops, going to a C, going to a G, going to a D, and we just repeated that. That's all we did. That's it. Now, why is that important? Because, well, E minor, that's an easy one to remember, right? And then C. Now, if you have in your mind that perfect fifth idea that we talked about a little earlier, let's go back up to, where's my cursor? There it is. Here, C goes to G, G goes to D, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, C, G, D. C goes to G, G goes to D. That's just that perfect fifth relationship that we just talked about. Now, he couldn't remember this very well. He kept messing up on it. You can use your fingers if you want to. Now, the reason we did this to do with him is I wanted to have him jam with me, and I would play the chords and he would jam. We do this a few times, and then he would take over the chords and I would play, right? Like that. Basically, we're really in the key of E minor, but we're also in the key of G. So you could use, I'm using an E minor pentatonic scale or a G major pentatonic when I'm doing that. So to be able to remember chord progressions like that, it's really good to have this idea in your head of where those perfect fifths are. A, E, B, F sharp, C, G, D. Now, the B to F sharp, we don't use that one so much, right? We don't. D to A, E to B, F to C, G to D, we always use those. And so that's important. Now, also, we can go to, let's see here, I just wrote some things down. You can also do these with flats, right? D flat to A flat, E flat to B flat. F is not a flat. We won't worry about F to C. G flat to D flat. Let's see. B flat to B would be to F, not to F sharp. A flat to E flat. Did we already talk about that? So you could do that with flats also. Anytime you have that relationship, for instance, from here, from one note like that, go up 2 frets over 1 string. As long as you're on the E string and then the A string, or the A string and the D string, or the D string and the G string, that works. That relationship works. That's the theory thing. That's the theory concept that I want you to think about today. And get that in your mind and think about that, right? There it is again. I'll take my image off the screen so you can do a screenshot of that and think about that. Okay, I'm going to give you 7 seconds. That's it. That's all you get. I'm going to leave because usually these live streams, I like to do them for about 30 minutes and then, you know, be gone. Let's see. I might have some questions here. Let me look at the comments. Somebody's saying, hi everybody from Normandy in France. Vaccine. That's really cool. I don't know how to say that. Vaccine nature. Qualité arrivé. I don't know how to say it. I am connected since the beginning, but I had trouble in being able to post messages. But welcome. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Vaccine. I don't know how to say that. Great to see you here. I am very good with computers. I have been unable to change the name of the associate vaccine nature quality blah 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 into my name Alain. Oh, Alain. Alain. Hello. It's good to see you. I assume there are other chord relationships. Now, when you're talking, Dwayne, when you're asking about other chord relationships, I was only talking about perfect fifths here. Right? That's what I was talking about. Very interesting. I'm seeing something on my screen right here that doesn't seem to be giving me exactly what I'm doing right now. Very weird. Very strange. It's way behind where I am talking. So I hope everybody out there can see me and that it works. I will look at this later and download it and edit it if I need to and if I can. Alan, thank you for being here. And Bob, Dwayne, Renee, Albert, so good to see you. I am now going to, we're going to take off in just a moment. If you want to learn how to hang out with me after a live stream, look in the description. You can sign up at YouTube. Excuse me, not YouTube. You can sign up at Patreon, Subscribe Star, or send me an email at lessonswithhal@gmail.com. A donation is always welcome. I will have other ways to be able to donate in the near future. All right. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see you soon.